help along. And before we get started, I want to thank two people, and that's my two assistants, Coach Bialis and Coach Smith. Without them, I don't think we could have been as successful as we can. We work well together, and I think anytime you have a coaching staff that supports each other and supports the kids and are there for the kids, that's how we're going to become more and more successful. So to Coach Smith and Coach Bialis, thank you for another fine year. Before we get started with any of the players, I've been asked to introduce two former students of Magnolia High School. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to read this to you, and we would like the two young ladies to come up here as we announce them. So if y'all two would come up right now, I will start reading this letter. This evening, we're proud to have with us two of the players from the 1950 Magnolia District Volleyball team. Yannick, 1950 most athletic girl and best player. In their day, there was no wash and dry uniforms. Instead, maroon and white satin uniforms that were dry clean only, compliments of Dolly Clark, who ran the sawmill. No Nike tennis shoes, only canvas type shoes. No extended after-school practices, only PE class time. But Wanda and Chris had their private practices at home by rolling rags tight and volleying over the barbed wire fence. No TVs or video replays to study, only personal commitment and hard work. There were no trainers, only a shared roll of athletic tape. No chartered buses, only a bus shared by the boys basketball team. Volleyball played first and the boys basketball second. There was no JV team, only varsity, which consisted of 6 players and 3 subs. They were not known as the Lady Bulldogs, simply Magnolia Bulldogs. Although they had many obstacles, the sincere love of the game never stopped them from playing. Even though they had to hide their shorts in their coats, they played. Even though they were sure of ride home after the game, they played. When their coach, Mrs. Turner, realized that they were afraid of walking home because bulls charging them, she started giving them a ride home after the games. Volleyball was the most positive thing in their lives. It was their life. Magnolia opponents were Klein, Waller, Montgomery, and Hempstead. Waller being the sweetest victory of all. Season started in January instead of September, and as always, the Conroe Courier covered the games. These two ladies have been watching most of you girls play since junior high and have followed the Lady Bulldogs to the past 3 state playoffs in Austin via the big yellow spirit bus, the yellow dog. They refer to each of you by name and are proud to be part of a group of champions as you are. Wanda, a 4-year letterman spiker, and Chris, a 3-year letter setter, will never lose their desire to play and want you girls to know that the thrill of the game never dies. If they could find a team to pick up 2 1950 district volleyball champs, their reply would be, "Put me in, coach, I'm ready to play." And brag about kids and talk about all things, but I'm going to sit here tonight, and I'm going to say a little bit about each one of these young ladies that again gave Magnolia something to be proud of again. I'm here at my 2nd year at Magnolia, and I've been truly blessed. Number one, with the athletes and the attitude that these young ladies took. But let me back up, kind of what Mr. Tullis said. Things come from the home. A lot of times, the character the kids displayed on the court, you know where it comes from, and it came from the home first. Coach Sherrill said the same thing about how people complimented teams. We were one of those teams. we had many schools at the state tournament supporting us. And, you know, that says a lot. Even your district schools that wanted you to win is because of the class act that these young ladies were. And I'm just grateful to be part of it. Our district record again was 13-1. Our only blemish came at the hands of Willis, which was a pretty good, decent team. So, you know, I guess if you're going to lose one, I guess you might as well lose it to a good team. But we finished co-champions. Then we had the playoff to see who'd go as number 1 seed. And I truly believe the better team did win that night, and that was us. With the overall record of 33-3, the last one being at the state for the state championship. But like I told the girls, we couldn't have taken it any further. We took it to the 3rd game. You can't ask. You cannot ask anything more of this group that they did. I'm very proud of it. We might have not came back with that gold medal, but we did come back with the silver. And if you were there and you saw that every bit of their being was left on that court, they didn't take anything into that dressing room. So I'm just going to, instead of babbling on, we're going to start getting these people up here. I'm going to introduce my sophomores first. Kim Crawford. Kim will be receiving her letter jacket this year. Kim did an excellent job. Kim had to grow up very quickly this year. Back row specialist that did an excellent job, and I'm really glad to have her back for next year. Candace will receive her varsity letter. Mindy Hartman. Mindy will also receive her first varsity letter in volleyball. I need to tell you something about this young lady. She was one that I jerked up from the junior varsity in the middle of the year, probably, toward the end of the year. And I told Mindy, I said, Mindy, this is probably the hardest thing that a player can do, going from a full-time starter to someone who comes up just in case one of my setters go down. You know, we had a setter go down this year, and she was kind of coming back, and we didn't know whether she could go a game, 2 games. And Mindy was always on the bench, ready to come in. And it might have been after the first game, it might have been after the second play. But you know, to ask a sophomore and someone like that to stay so focused, and all of a sudden say, Mindy, you've got to go in, and still stay in tune and be part of it. You can't ask any more of that, and that is one thing I appreciate about Mindy. She's a great person. I'm glad to have her 2 more years. And another sophomore toward the end, we pulled up one more girl to travel with us on the playoffs, and it was Colleen. And Colleen, if you kind of stand up again, you did a super job for us. My juniors, Mary Ellen Angel. Mary Ellen was one of our middle blockers. Also, she played on the right side for us, the weak side. She came in as a setter at times. When one of our setters went down early in the year, she came in and did a lot of things for us and really held intact. And again, we'll have Mary Ellen back for big things for Mary Ellen. Lee Lamont. State all-tournament team. Also this year, some of our honors league got. She was the most valuable setter at the Conroe tournament. She was the most valuable player at the Conroe tournament. And she was also the all-tournament player at the Walter tournament. We the 3 tournaments we did play this year, we won the All-Dean tournament, but that one was very costly to us. And we won the water tournament, we won the Conroe tournament. And so we did have success, but Lee, we're having her back and really looking forward to having her. Allison Phillips. Came new to us last year. She played JV and then came in as a team player. She's a truly team player. She was part of it. She was always involved on the bench. Also, Allison will be receiving her little jacket. Congratulations to you, Allison. I don't know which one it is. I don't know if it's, I guess it's Shelley tonight. Shelley Cargill. Shelley was another team player that came in when I needed her. She's a great person and a great individual. Shelley would also be is receiving her varsity letter tonight. Kendi Lucas. This was one of our casualties early in the year. Kendi, in the All-Dean tournament, Kendi went down with a broken ankle, and we lost her for a long time. But as we get on, I can tell you, as far as team, what this team was made of, and everyone took over, everyone shared, everyone worked together as a common goal to keep us focused and keep us playing well until she got well again. Kendi, some of her honors she's had since she's been in high school. Kendi was a 2-year all-district player. She was first team all-district her sophomore year and first team all-district last year. We've yet to have our district picks this year, and it's probably because we haven't been able to. We'll have them next Monday, so hopefully there's some honors going back out still up to our girls. But again, I'm going to truly miss Kendi. I think she was one of the better setters, quicker, knowledge-wise, smart-wise. It's something that you can't coach in someone like that. That's just natural instinct, and she's going to be truly missed. Sarah Cruz. Sarah was also nominated to the second team all-district last year, and a very good, solid player. She came up, we pulled her up at the middle of the season last year and really got us over the hump last year, and then really helped us into the playoffs. That's another one I'm going to truly miss. These seniors that we're introducing now, they're an exceptional group of kids, and you just can't help but miss these kids. And congratulations to you, Sarah. Another one. Gina last year was one of our starting middle blockers. Not that Gina couldn't do it, but you can see Gina's not one of the taller people. But you know what? Gina Adams, she plays as a 6'2" player. And let me tell you, she stepped down last year and took the responsibility of a defensive specialist. She came off the front row and shared it with the taller player to help us get over that thing. This year she came in, she worked her little tail off over the summer. And if you ever saw Gina play, you would think that she was taller than what she did. Another person that it's kind of hard to replace, and hopefully she has instilled in some of the younger kids exactly what you can do if you just stick with it and work hard and at it. Gina was all tournament this year at the water tournament and the Conroe tournament. These are pretty good tournaments, especially that Conroe tournament, and I'm really proud of that. She was also second team all-district last year. So Gina, congratulations to you. Ann Black. Mandy is another one that when I first came to Magnolia, she was a truly gifted person. She worked and became one of the best hitters that we had in district. Some of her honors she's gotten since she's been in high school. She was was honorable mention in her sophomore year. She was first team all-district last year. She was all-tournament in the Montgomery tournament back last year. She was all-tournament this year at the Waller tournament, and she was all-tournament in the Conroe tournament, and also was named to the all-state tournament team. And Mandy did a tremendous job. Anytime we needed to side out, she was such a smart hitter, whether she was hitting off the block, whether she was getting through the block, or whether she was getting over the block. When I needed to side out, that one came through. And she's a very consistent player the whole season. Or maybe she might have struggled in a couple of games, but when she struggled, guess what happens? It's that TEAM that brought us through again. And again, Mandy, congratulations. I hope you continue to have great success. I have one manager here, that one's here, but I have Tracy Crocker. Tracy has done an excellent job for us. You know, like I said, if y'all had even come watch any one game, especially when we made it to the playoffs, and after we got Bridge City out of the way, the next couple of games showed you truly what can happen when a group of people get together and believe in each other. Anytime I've always told my kids before the game, I guess the number one word I've always said was focus. And I know my seniors, when they leave, I'm going to tell them when they leave to always focus on what they believe in. But I always told them, for number one, you've got to trust yourself and believe in yourself. And number two, you need to believe in your teammates. And number three, just get out there and have fun. Because if you're not having fun at anything you're doing, then you're not going to win. And that's the three things that we took into the game every time. But this group, anytime one of the players went down or was having a tough time, we would put someone in, and they would hold it together until we got through. We went through a lot of things this year. We went through injuries, we went through discipline, we went through a lot of things. But it takes a lot, it takes a great character out of people to see exactly what this group has accomplished. And when you look across here, I can just look in admiration that I have been blessed and I have been fortunate to be part of it. And ladies and gentlemen, this is your state runner-up champions right here, and they're champions.